New at 6 o'clock, runners from Midwestern communities hit the road today in honor of the St. Jude Runs. More than 2,000 runners will compete in a relay-style race across 35 cities in Illinois. Runners departed today from Quincy as they headed to Peoria. All of them will complete their run in downtown Peoria, which is home to the first St. Jude affiliate clinic.
It was definitely something that I was interested in and supported. Just St. Jude mission, no child left with medical bills, no family left with medical bills whenever they're facing one of the hardest challenges that they could ever experience as a family. It just really touches me.
And you can find more information about St. Jude and the run and how to donate at WGEM.com.